All right, 7th graders, let's do some work on compound figures today, those composite figures. Finding some area. I have my formula sheet close, my calculators here. We're going to be working in the book on page 635, so if you need to get your book, please get that. Open to page 635, and we're going to go over the problems that you worked on yesterday. So we're focusing on number 1 here, first of all. Number 1 is made up of 2 rectangles. You can see where I split it there. Large one on top, small one on the bottom. My large one here is 12 by 4.5. So I'm going to do 12 times 4.5 for my work. And then I'm going to plug that in my calculator. When I plug it in my calculator, I'm going to get 54, and that would be centimeters squared. My small one is length times width would be 2 times 5. So 2 times 5 is going to give me 10. That would also be centimeters squared. I would next add those, and when I add 10 plus 54, we're going to get 64, and that would be centimeters squared. So now let's go over to number 2, which you can see where I separated it there. We have a rectangle and a triangle. Then we're going to add them. So my rectangle, length times width, I have a 24 times 8. So let's put in 24 times 8. Put that in your calculator, multiply it out. We're going to get a 192, and that would be yards squared. Now our triangle, the measurements are not as easily seen. I have my formula here, but let's find what the base and the height are. This is the base of my triangle, which has no measurement here. But you can see this whole thing is 24. So this would have to be 24. So let's take away the 6, this is just this part, and take away this 6, which is just this part, and that would leave us with the base of our triangle. So 24 minus 6 is 18, minus another 6 would be 12. So that means the base of our triangle is going to be a 12. We got to multiply it by the height, which I have marked with an 8 here, and I'm going to show you why that's 8. This entire line is 16. They show you that here. And I know from here to here is 8 because of this measurement. So from here to here has to also be 8 because 8 plus 8 equals a total of 16. So our height is going to be 8. Now triangles have a divide by 2 as part of them because triangles are really just half of a rectangle. So we're dividing it by 2. And when we do that, we end up getting 48 yards squared. Next, we would add those. When we add those, we get our total area, and our total area is going to be 240. And we keep our label of yards squared. So let's move down to number 6. I like to call this one Darth Vader. So, half circle, trapezoid, half circle. You guys are pros at circles right now. You just had a quiz on it. Radius squared times pi. Because it's a half circle, I'm going to divide by 2. So here's my circle that I'm just going to show you. That would technically be a whole circle, but there's only half here. So this is representing a radius. So we can use that 3. 3 times 3 for our radius squared times pi divided by 2. So when you do all that, oops, my calculator's not on. 3 times 3 times 3.14 divided by 2, I'm getting 14.13. All right, trapezoid. Here's my formula. My bases are my parallel lines. Parallel, parallel. This is 10. This, I know part of it is 3. The other part also has to be a 3 because that would be the other radius on the circle. So 3 plus 3 makes this 6. So our bases are 6 and 10. So let's put 6 plus 10 here, divided by 2. Next would be times the height, which is the straight line between the two bases, which they show us is 8. I'm going to add this to get 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. I still have to multiply that by 8 to get 64. So I have my 2 areas here that I'm now going to add. And when I add my 64 plus my 14.13, I'm going to get 78 and 13/100 yards squared is going to be my label. You're going to be working on more problems like this today. 6 of them, I believe it is. Keep your formulas handy. Follow the notes that I wrote on the paper for you. You'll be finding areas and adding them. Sometimes you're going to be finding 2 areas and subtracting them because you're taking things out. But I put little notes on your paper. You know how to get in touch with me today. So, good luck. I know you can do it. You got this.